Hi everyone, I'm Jynn from Jynn Property. If you and your partner are planning to get your first home, this video will be helpful for you. Conventionally, we will be thinking of getting a BTO as it is supposedly the most affordable and the cheapest option. But what about getting an executive condominium or a private condominium? Today, let me share with you a few pointers to take note of with regards to these three options. Let's first take a look at BTO. BTO are brand new public housing provided by HDB. You can apply for a unit under the following scheme: Public Scheme, Fiancé-Fiancée Scheme, Orphan Scheme, Single Singapore Citizen Scheme, Non-Citizen Scheme, and Joint Single Scheme. It usually takes approximately 3 years to construct, and you would also have to fulfill a minimum occupation period of 5 years before you can consider to sell your property or buy another residential property. As for the loan, it will be calculated under mortgage servicing ratio, which means that 30% of your income can be used to pay off the mortgage loan. You have the choice to apply it from the bank or HDB. Taking a loan from the bank would require you to put a 5% cash down payment. You can use 20% of your CPF and a maximum loan of 75%. On the other hand, if you are taking a HDB loan, you will be eligible to take up to 90% loan. And with HDB loan, you are required to utilize all the CPF for down payment and allowing you to keep up to 20,000. HDB interest rates would be 0.1% above CPF interest rate, which at this moment would be 2.6%, and that is higher than bank loan interest. For example, a young couple with a combined income of 8,000 with no liability on hand, they can borrow up to approximately 529,000 with HDB loan, and this is with a maximum loan tenure of 25 years, depending on the age of the buyers. Next, let's take a look at executive condominium, in short known as EC. This is a hybrid of public and private housing. The construction will take about 3 years, and you will also have to fulfill a 5 years minimum occupation period before you can consider to sell or to purchase another residential property. You can apply a unit under the following scheme: Public Scheme, Fiancé-Fiancée Scheme, Orphan Scheme, and Joint Single Scheme. The monthly income ceiling allowed to apply an EC unit is 16,000. And good news is, for the first-timers, you are also eligible to apply for housing grant of up to 30,000 depending on your income status. For loan-wise, buyer will also have to apply mortgage loan from banks, and it will be based on mortgage servicing ratio. You can have a maximum loan tenure of 30 years depending on the age of the buyers. So for example, if a young couple who has a combined income of 8,000 with no liabilities on hand, they can borrow up to approximately 534,000 with a 30 years loan tenure. Lastly, let's take a look at private condominium. These are developed and sold by private developers. If you are looking at brand new homes, it usually takes approximately 3 years to construct. The key differences between buying a BTO and executive condominium as compared to private condominiums are the following. BTOs and EC loans are calculated based on mortgage servicing ratio, while private condominiums loans are calculated based on total debt servicing ratio, where your combined monthly liabilities cannot exceed 60% of your monthly income. For example, a young couple who has a combined income of $8,000 with no liabilities on hand can borrow up to approximately 1.068 million with a 30 years loan tenure, depending on the age. Number 2, there is no minimum occupation period for private condo, which means you can sell your property anytime you want. However, if you were to sell the property within the first 3 years of purchase, you will be subjected to seller stamp duty, where you have to pay the SSD based on your selling price. Thirdly, There is also no restrictions on the buyer profile, so long the buyer is above age 21. Whether or not they are single, married, PR, foreigners, or even companies, they can buy a private property. In fact, even a baby can buy a private property. However, that will be buying under trust. So, here's a summary of what I've just shared with you. Guys, so I know that buying a property is a big decision for you and your partner, and there are many factors to consider, especially how it can benefit you in the next 5 to 10 years. So, if you find this beneficial for you and you want to help someone else too, feel free to share our video. At the same time, feel free to call me at 9125-1161 for a consultation where I will provide you with a personalized property wealth planning plan for you. Till I see you again in our next video. Once again, I'm Jynn from William Jynn Property.